Hello and welcome to the Test Community.Network. My name's Tim Burnett. I hope you're all safe and well. In this week, I'll be talking to Vali Huseyn about the work that he's been doing looking at the kind of Central Asia region. Now, Vali is an ambassador to the IAEA conference, which is taking place in September in Toronto. It's going to be an amazing week, lots of presentations, lots of content, all to do with the evaluation, assessment and measurement. Truly an international affair with delegates coming from all around the world at a particular conference. Vali and I kind of explored Central Asia region, just exploring where the pioneers are, Kazakhstan being one of them, and we kind of unpicked what it is they're doing, what's really kind of very insightful about their approach. So more with that in a second. I just want to share with you the MCQ leaderboard. So this is a piece of work that I've been doing past couple of weeks now. And what I've done is I've taken a comparative judgment model approach to pulling together a leaderboard for AI models. So last week I talked a bit more about this when I was looking at the research that AQA had done, just in terms of the limitations there, because they'd not put a lot of effort into the creation of the items, which I think is a very, very important part, but it was a really exceptional, valuable piece of research. It was just a slight difference of opinion there in terms of how they start that. As you can see here from the leaderboard at the moment, Claude Sonnet 4.5 is leading the way, with the most wins and least amounts of losses. I've put on there two models over the past week. We've got Kimi K3, which is a new model that's come out of China, and Thinking Machines Lab Inkling model is on there somewhere. There it is down the bottom there, number 18. That is another open source model, but that one's come from a lab in America started by Mira Muradi, one of the kind of co-founders, I think, or former CTO, sorry, of OpenAI. Sitting at the bottom, weirdly, is Claude Fable, which I find quite interesting because some people think, I'll put that model there, it'd be great. But this is just to kind of show that different models behave in different ways. And in terms of writing items, it might not be the best model for it. You've got to think about your region, you've got to think about your topic. But please go on there. You can try adding yourself. So you can try, there's some sample tests on there that you can take where you compare two items across. I've also made some adjustments and tweaks to the MCQ question builder. So this is where you can pull together your kind of taxonomy, jurisdiction, format, scenario, distraction logic, and build together a really good item that you can then publish to be tested. So please do try that out. Anyway, on to my conversation now with Vali, and welcome to the stage. Thank you.
Are you well?
Thank you very much, Tim. I'm doing well. Glad to see you, and thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this conversation. And you're based out in Azerbaijan at the moment. Do you want to tell, for anyone who's not met you before, because I know you're very well known within the IAEA community, but do you want to tell anyone else that doesn't know you a bit more about yourself, what you do, what your work is, what your focus is, and what your background is?
Well, thank you for the question. So I work mainly in the Central Asia and Caucasus as the regional assessment expert, supporting governments, particularly ministries, different sub-ministry bodies to reform the large-scale assessments in the region. So with that experience, I also come with linguistic and cultural awareness and familiarity of the region that helps me to better understand the clients and support them as they need. So in a nutshell, I enjoy supporting and promoting the good practices in the region. Like this today meeting is part of this mission, and thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, and I think this is what I love about these conversations and the opportunity that we've both been presented with ambassador kind of roles on the IAEA conference, is that it just opens up the opportunities to have conversations with people around the world that you just wouldn't normally have had the chance to. And I know we saw each other at the EAA conference a few weeks ago. Didn't get a chance to actually have a chat because I was in the room and then off again. But yeah, this is what I kind of want to unpick your kind of experience. So within Central Asia, what kind of trends are we seeing? What pioneers are leading the charge in the Central Asia in terms of assessment, either digital adoption or just assessment modification?
Yeah, thank you. So I love this region because it's very dynamic. and particularly the region has lots of resources, growing population, by the way, and a great appetite for the growth and development. So if I have to name the countries in terms of the growth and advancements in assessment industry, I definitely have to mention Kazakhstan, because Kazakhstan is a pioneer in both the digitizing the mode of assessment, as well as changing the culture of assessment from knowledge-based to more competency, and also readiness for university based. So that in that regard, although every country has their own uniqueness to be proud of, but in a nutshell, I would definitely recommend learning Kazakhstan's experience in, let's say, scaling up the digitalization and the change of the reform of the culture of assessment in the region.
So are there other countries in that region then looking to Kazakhstan as being the leaders, and are they kind of broadly following in the same footsteps that Kazakhstan are taking?
Yes, and there's a strong reason why, I would say, because Kazakhstan is very heavily invested in the higher education landscape. They built many campuses and support the opening up new branches of universities. Up until now, I think around 25, 30 new campuses were opened, including UK, US, and other Western and Eastern countries, higher education institutions. So that also creates a challenge how students, local students, will be admitted to those university branches. In that regard, there's a call for modernization, and there's also a support on a high level to kind of close the gap in reaching the visionary, let's say, Central Asian hub for excellence in higher education.
And so there's some digitization work going. So they're using digital-based assessment for university entrance examinations. Is that everyone's sitting down on the same day to take a test, or is that distributed? Because that's one of the challenges sometimes with digital assessment. Tell me a bit more about that.
So one of the challenges in digitizing the mode of assessment is to reduce the load because of the shortage of infrastructure. And one way Kazakhstan, particularly the National Testing Center, has done, they split the one-day load to 5. So during the year, 5 times students or candidates can get 5 attempts to take the university admission test, and but 2 of the 5 attempts would be considered as the main one for getting the scholarship from the government. But other than that, it's 5-time opportunity for students to feel comfortable, prepared, and ready for the high-stake assessment.
Excellent. So it's not then school-based, school leaving assessment. Is that still done on paper for school leaving assessment?
Yes, and every country, they have their own model, how they kind of sometimes merge the results. Like in Azerbaijan, school leaving exams results and university admission exams, they kind of merged for the main university admission decision. But in case of Kazakhstan and other, like Uzbekistan, there it's different. There's a separate assessment for university admission test that is more on the remit of the Ministry of Higher Education, which is in Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. And that's why it has not that of connectedness and maybe the responsibility to fully computerize the school system before moving on with the digitalization of an assessment that is more connected to higher education landscape.
Yeah, and I think I we were talking just a bit before, and I get a little bit frustrated when people kind of say, well, everyone should just move digital, and especially school-based leaving examinations. And there was Colin Hughes from AQA was talking in the local press here himself, saying how frustrated he was finding that we weren't making that move towards digital assessment. But I think the biggest challenge is the fact that we're still trying to use the same assessment method, aren't we? You're just making that bottleneck and taking it from a paper-based thing to a computer challenge. And if the infrastructure is not there, then you're disadvantaging more people than you are advantaging, really, aren't you? So, but we're going to IAEA, we're going to be in Canada, we're going to be in Toronto later on this year in September. You're a veteran, aren't you? Would you say you're a veteran for IAEA? Was it 2014? Was it something your first visit to that conference?
Yes, thank you. I think there are other people who are, I would call veterans. I would call myself
Mary would definitely be a veteran, I think, wouldn't she?
Yes. I would be maybe the students of veterans, I would say. So that I learned from them, and I just like the mission and also the community of the IAEA. That is, it's kind of a gathering once a year to celebrate what journey in each jurisdiction you have had. And sharing that is a nice way to first validate what you have been doing, second to share and also get some feedback for improvement, and third, also learn from others. So in that self, being part of the conference is always an enriching experience in both ways. And I really enjoyed being a contributor as conference manager in 2019 in Baku, where we organized as the State Examination Center back then, and also serving as a board member was another experience I gained from the strategic viewpoint. And now looking forward to going to Toronto, celebrating all these achievements throughout these years, and also inviting others, which we do as the conference ambassadors.
Yeah, and I'm new to it. It's my first one. I'm really excited. Of all the people that I've spoken to, yourself included, yeah, every single conversation is leading to me being more excited. Not just about the conference, but also going to Toronto as well, because I've not been to Toronto, so I'm quite excited about that. What, from your perspective, what do you do you hope to get out of the conversations then at this year's conference? What do you think is going to be kind of the main point of conversation and topic?
As you know, we met in e-assessment conference, and these conferences, of course, they help us gain some new insights. But most importantly, it's about networking and having this time for yourself to reflect. And that moment for self-reflection about the topic, even if you don't agree, for example, or you may have your own thoughts that I love that moment when you're sitting and you're with your thoughts, and sometimes when you need a break, you get some insight from the session, and then you continue your journey. It's like as if you're in a train, different stops. So that experience with different stops and having an opportunity of 1 week, you can travel to really far away in your thoughts. And that is, I think, amazing. And I think this conference is the longest one, so it's like a long journey to attend and take advantage of.
I'll be honest, everyone I've spoken to has framed it in a different way, and a beautiful way, because Gerla talked last week about the idea of sitting under a tree, and just having that natural conversation of and I kind of got this great picture, but now I've got this amazing picture now. I've been on this lovely long journey with everyone, and everyone getting off at different stops and different opportunities. That's beautiful. Are you speaking at the conference? Have you got any topics?
Yes, I will be, and the topic I chose this time is connected to transparency and fairness. I do write different blogs during a year, and one blog was on justice in assessment, which was connected to different practices on how each country, or including the UK and in the region, Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan, how they struggle, what kind of measures they take to stop malpractices, and how that impacts on the culture of assessment. And also, assessment is a messenger to society. What kind of standards, or what are the let's say the social lift models that they design, how fair it is, because we use this term maybe less familiar, social lift, as an assessment being the equalizer. If you come from a village, for example, you take an assessment and you become a city person by studying in a more urban environment. So in itself, it changes your socioeconomic status as well. And then after taking another assessment, you become a master's student, or then another assessment, you become employed civil servant. So in itself, assessment serves to give a message about justice in society, especially in the case of merit-based system. That's why justice has its own embedded mission in assessments for whole society. And I take that angle to share what kind of experiences we have as a region and what are the lessons learned.
That sounds super exciting. Well, I'm hoping I'll be able to make your session. It's going to be a very busy week, isn't it? It's going to be, what with the trip to Niagara Falls as well, which I know we're all kind of excited to, but I think there's going to be some great sessions and great content. Really excited. Yeah.
Parallel sessions for sure. It can be 4 or 5. So it's going to be competition.
It's hard, isn't it? Especially when you're traveling by yourself. I know you're kind of freelancer like myself. You don't go as part of a team. You can't split up. But maybe if we do, we'll compare notes on our experiences, and we'll share those with everyone else, won't we? Well, that's brilliant. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see you there. Thank you for sharing your insights and sharing the work within Central Asia. And I look forward to seeing you in Toronto.
Yes, thank you very much, team, for the invitation to be part of this session. And I wish you good luck spreading what we call as missionaries, good practices, and supporting create the confidence for people who still start this journey in the beginning.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. That's really, you're great. You're really good at putting that. So thank you. Much better than I am. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.
See you. Bye.
I think the phrase that I was looking for there was Vali is excellent at articulating his thoughts much better than I am. I am really excited. I thought that was a lovely session on just the idea of the journey and a longer journey. And we were saying a kind of conversation about, I love about the fact of going to conferences. Yes, you're kind of absorbing what's there in the sessions, but it's also a time to think and reflect and just take new ideas and apply them. So there's lots to be gained from that, and bounce them off other people as well. So those people like to chat about their ideas, don't they? Anyway, right. I will see you next week for another excellent episode. If I don't see you before, the kind of the holidays and things like that, then I hope you have a lovely holiday. I do hope to be putting out some more episodes over the kind of holiday period. So keep tuned in, and you take care, and I'll see you soon. Thank you, and bye-bye.